Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie, Part 1. It is Sunday, February 2nd, 2025, and I'm so happy you are joining us this week. It is Groundhog's Day here in the U.S., and so after we see if that groundhog sees his shadow or not, we'll have 6 more weeks until spring or 6 more weeks of winter. Either way, it's 6 more weeks. Today's product suite does not have any groundhogs in it, but there are some cute critters in this Storybook Moment suite. So let's turn the camera around to my desktop and I'll show you this brand new product that we're using in this week's video. The suite we're going to feature this week is the Storybook Moment Suite. You're going to find this in the January through April 2025 Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog. Starting on page 23, they really are showcasing the suites in such a bigger way, I feel like, in this catalog. Don't you agree, Mom?
I do, especially this one.
So we have lots of pages of project ideas. Here's the product. Mom's gonna tell you in her video, but it is definitely a mega suite. There are 2 stamp set bundles, 2 different designer papers, and then some coordinating accessories, which I'm gonna come back to all that, but I just want to show you some of the other pages talking about the different features of the product. So I didn't even realize this until I turned this page. The dies that cut out, or the dies that coordinate with the stamped images, will also die cut some of the images from the designer paper. And then in addition, we also have laser cut die cut pieces that are part of the designer paper as well. So there's just lots of showcasing here, some watercolor techniques showing you different ways to watercolor. I guess not watercolor techniques, showing you different ways to color the images, whether you're using colored pencils or watercoloring or the blends. There's lots of different ways to color these adorable storybook friends. Is there one more? Yes, one more page spread. It just keeps going. I just think all these
Did I miss that?
all these pages are just so cute. Like, I just love this clean and simple card here. Fussy cutting with a hobby knife, the center out of this frame from the designer paper. This is a die cut frame. There's just so many different elements. And I also want to point out we have some scrapbooking products that are that coordinate with this suite as well. I'm trying to get the digital scrapbooking brochure for January includes 4 different suites, including this one. So there is a workshop kit that has materials to make 2-page 12 by 12 scrapbook layouts. And there's also a designer paper option that includes stickers that are more scrapbooking focused. It looks like we've got a lot of the great strawberries and other produce in there. And then there's also a Storybook Life stamp set, which has some larger words that are meant for more geared towards scrapbooking. So coordinating products, including 2-tone cardstock that you'll find as well. Now, this is a digital brochure, so it's not printed, but you can find these products in the online store at juliedavison.com/shop. But I love the sample here of how to use some of these products. Just the ones you see here featured to make scrapbooking pages. So this suite is just so much fun. Let me come back here and show you the 2 different suites. The bundles. I only have one of them. I did not get the Storybook Garden Patch, but you can see it's got some great imagery that really coordinate with the designer paper. We got the vegetables and the watering can and the pots, and then there's some dies that die cut those images and a couple detailed dies as well. And then I did get the Storybook Friends, which has images that are a little bit bigger on the inside there. And they have dies that will die cut a lot of those images, and then the 3 frames. And these are just so beautiful. I love them. I think they're going to be great for other projects as well. Here are 2 of them. I'm going to use the 3rd one on my project today. Oh, actually, all these little pieces can be poked out for a really intricate detail frames. I just think these are so pretty. So I think that's the highlight of the Storybook Friends. But as I pointed out, the dies here that die cut the stamped images will also cut out some of the images from the designer paper. Speaking of the designer paper, this 12 by 12 designer paper called Storybook Moments includes 2 identical sheets of laser cut pieces. There are so many pieces here. You see some characters and then some plants, and I love the little fence. Lots of options here. And so you can keep them in a cello bag or in your paper like this. And then we also saw this, was it last week or no, I guess it's been a couple weeks ago that we did the Wildflower Birthday. That's another designer paper that is similar in having the laser cut pieces. And then there's also a big 12 by 12 piece that has like little vignettes. So these are specifically sized pieces that you can cut apart and use for your cards. We saw this one in the catalog where they cut around the frame and then cut the inside out as well. I love the little, I love the geese there. So just smaller pieces that are each different. And then, excuse me. In addition to the die cuts, in addition to the larger page, we have 4 other 12 by 12 designs that come with the designer paper, and you're going to get 2 sheets each of these. So on one side, we have the Storybook Friends and sort of the scenes in the garden, and then the other side, we have some other patterns like the vegetables, and this reminds me of like wallpaper. I think it's so pretty. This one probably is my favorite. I just love that Lost Lagoon color. The colors in this designer paper you can find here on the previous page, right along here, the bottom. So Calypso, Coral, Wild Wheat, Old Olive, Lost Lagoon, Boho Blue, Pecan Pie, and some others as well. It's the same colors that are in the Timeless Plaid designer paper. Now this one is a 6x6 paper, and so you're getting 12 different patterns, and they're double-sided, so 4 sheets each of these designs. And I love how they mix and match with the Storybook Moments designer paper, but I also think they work really well on their own, especially for masculine cards. I can see making some shirt and ties. So many of these patterns, I'm like, oh, Jim has a shirt that looks like that and that and that. Like, I think this paper is really great. Even if you're not a big fan of the whole suite, I think that this has a lot of possibilities. I should have pulled some other samples. I even had one that I used my stamp set with, and I don't know where that went.
I almost pulled your set as well to use with this.
Well, like here's one where I used a little, I didn't glue that one down.
That's cute.
Here's one. This is the same thing, just a different color scheme, but they both use the plaid paper. So lots of possibilities with this one. Do I have one more? Yeah, here's one more with the plaid. So it's just fun paper, the Timeless Plaid. I am actually going to use the Timeless Plaid on my card today, and some of the laser cut pieces and these amazing antique pearls that are part of the suite as well. I love that they're flatter than I thought they would be, but they still do have a little bit of a bump. And then the petal pink, like a little mini scallop ribbon, really pretty. So those are all part of the suite. So you can get the entire suite with one item number right up here, the Storybook Suite Collection. And that will get you a couple Sale-a-Bration gifts. So it's a great time to get all your favorites from the mini catalog. Let's move on to my card. Oh no, let me show you some samples first. How about that? You know how I feel about coloring. And so I have not yet colored any of these images, although they're small enough that I could probably handle that. But I really I really do love that they're done for us with the laser cut pieces. And so a lot of the cards that I have made do utilize those die cuts that are ready to go. So I've created a couple cards using some of the designer paper in the background. I love that guy who's going fishing. Here's a swap card from Kay Cogbill, and she used one of the frames and another little laser cut piece with some of the plaid paper. This one is from Leanne Greff. I love that she used some of the gardening paper. And then my last card swap is from April Booth, and she colored with some colored pencils, and I like that she used that designer paper. I'm finding the paper a little busy to use, but I think it makes a nice background. And so I'm going to have to play around some more with it. But today I'm using the plaid for my card. So let me move some of this stuff out of the way and bring in my card pieces. I've got them ready to go, and I'll have the measurements for you in the video description as well. I'm making a double Z-fold card, so I have 2 pieces for my card base. The first one is a half a sheet of cardstock the long way. It's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2 and 8 3/4. And so this makes a Z-fold, which is just like a very simple, so it's kind of like folding it in half and then folding it in half again the other way. So very simple Z-fold, and then it's a double Z-fold because there's another Z. We have this piece that's 3 1/4 by 10 inches, scored at 4 1/2 and 7 3/4. And so we are going to make a Z the other way. And when we put our Z's together, they are going to connect and create a double Z-fold card. So we've got some pieces to decorate the smaller Z. Our designer paper piece for the front is 3 inches by 4 1/4. And then there is a white piece and basic beige that are 2 1/2 by 3 inches. And those are going to go in the other sections here. Now you'll notice I did use the exposed brick embossing folder to emboss the basic beige cardstock. I just kind of wanted to add a little texture to this, and I kind of thought it seemed like a brick wall. And so I thought it went okay with our card here. I have cut out this beautifully detailed and ornate frame. Now all of these dies, I showed you them earlier, they all cut out with a frame and then a piece in the middle. And so I die cut a second time so that I could get the center with basic beige. So I'm going to have the Lost Lagoon on the outside and then the basic beige on the inside, just to kind of set apart our elements and bring it away from the designer paper a little bit. I'm going to use our cute little butterfly catcher guy with the net. And then I also have a couple of the little die cut butterflies as well to use on the inside of the card. And for the front, I have a little strip. It's about half inch wide for our inside sentiment, and on the inside or front sentiment on the inside I punched an extra just in case, but I'm using the new to the point punch. I love this new shape. I like punched labels because they're so easy, and so I think that this one's kind of fun to have like a different shape. I tend to lean towards using circles a lot, so it's fun to have a new shape to work with. What do you think about this punch? Have you been using it a lot, Mom?
I've used it a couple times. I really should pull it out and use it more because I really like it. But I've been so focused on the frames and things. I don't know. I love this suite. It's just so me. I've got to stop using it and move on to other things.
You don't have to stop using it.
Well, I mean, yes.
Yes. I feel like there's so much new stuff that I'm just cracking everything open. I feel like almost for the first time. Like I haven't made a lot of cards with this one yet, and I feel like I'm just getting started. So there is more to come, but I sure am inspired by your project. So I think that'll just keep me going. There are so many of these laser cut pieces that I could just keep going and going with this designer paper.
Boy, that's the truth. They were all punched out all over my desk, on the floor, on my chair, on my lap. They're a hot mess, as you will see.
No, I'm using crumb cake for the wall here at the bottom. I just want to have a little something on the inside. I'm going to leave it though. I'm not going to color it, although I think you certainly could color but I think it's going to be fine just like that. I just want it to be kind of subtle on the inside. I also stamped the Hello Friend on my little strip, and with these smaller words, I like to sometimes stamp it and then cut to the length that I need it to be, instead of trying to cut it too small and then trying to center it. Like sometimes that doesn't work so well. So I make it longer, I stamp it where I want it to be, and then I can cut it to be, you know, in the center where I need it. For our other sentiment, I'm going to use Lost Lagoon. I want to break up some of the color here. Since it's this label is going to go on the center panel here, I want to break up the beige, and so I'm going to bring in Lost Lagoon for that sentiment. And I'm doing Thank You So Much. I'm going to kind of stamp it to the left side a little bit, so that I can add the flowers, not the butterflies, not the flowers. Does that look crooked? Let's try it again. Sometimes I need the contrast of the darker desk against the white label to have a better idea of where I'm stamping. Okay, minimal stamping on mine. I think you have the same on your project, but that's just because these laser cut pieces make it so easy to have dynamic colored images. So let's get everything put together. I'm going to add my panels down first. So let's move those out of the way. And these are just going to go on with some regular Stampin' Seal. The large one going over here. These should just fit perfectly right in each panel. And I'm going to bring in the Thanks So Much label. And I'm just going to add that with regular adhesive. Since this is on the inside, I don't want to use Stampin' Dimensionals to make it extra bulky. That's where I'm going to put our cutie little butterflies. I'm going to add those with some glue dots because they're so small. I think this is the easiest way. I'm just going to unroll the glue dots and put the butterfly directly on the glue dot, and then I just give it like a little push to make sure that it's attached. And add those. And for the front, we're going to use some liquid glue to attach our frame. I'm just breaking out all the different kinds of adhesive on this card.
Well, yeah, it's nice to have a variety of adhesives to get just the right one.
With the liquid glue, you really don't need a lot. So I'm trying to be very strategic with where I'm putting it. And it's going to go right in the center. And the good thing about the liquid glue is you can kind of move it until you have it just right. And I'm going to add the basic beige layer. And I'm going to switch to another adhesive, some Stampin' Dimensionals, to add our front elements. And also Stampin' Dimensionals under the Hello Friend, and he's gonna slide under there just a smidge.
Oh,
I'm gonna cut that just a little bit. Okay, how about another kind of adhesive? We're going to use some Terra tape to adhere our double Z fold cards together. So we are going to put the adhesive on the ends. We're going to go here and here. And then on the long ends, we kind of want to stick to just 1/2 of the, now it's okay if they overlap like this, but we want to keep the adhesive on the end and not over here. So let's put this one down first. We're only going to take off one tear tape thing at a time, and we're going to kind of tuck this. I'm holding this with one hand so I can center the card. When I have it where I want it to go, then I can kind of open up and push down to make sure those pieces apply. But I already have the tear and tape here. And I close the card and it should lay flat.
Oh, I love it. Love, love, love it.
Gotta add some bling though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Where did those pearls go? Our antique pearls. I feel like these just go with everything.
Yeah.
Have you been using them with other sweets as well?
Oh, yeah. They are, they're right up there with my, oh, gosh. The rhinestones that I like.
Oh, yes. I could totally see that.
Shoot.
These are like a different kind of blinging because they're sort of pearlescent. But I just feel like they're really neutral and they just go with so many different.
Especially with the style of the frames, you know, that kind of shabby, geeky kind of look. I love that look.
Yes. Well, there's my finished card, a double Z fold with the Storybook Moments designer paper. If you enjoyed today's project idea, be sure to give my video a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss future Sunday stamping videos. But for now, it's time to head over to Mom's channel to see what she's created with the Storybook Moments suite. So go check the link right in the center of the video or in the video description to head over to Mom's channel for part 2 of Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. Thank you so much, Mom, for joining me today. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
My pleasure.
We will see you over on Mom's channel. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Everybody. Bye.